Welcome in this HAW video of the Audit Insight section. In this video we will see the top 10 points that you have to manage to be good in audit. First skill, manage the audit. And you have to think about engagement management related to 3 points. On an audit perspective, on a planning perspective, and on a client perspective. From an audit perspective, you have to perform the minimum amount of procedure to make sure that the financial statement is not materially misstated. And therefore, it's not necessary that you perform a lot of unnecessary procedures, because otherwise it will be really time consuming from the audit side and the client side. Second, planning perspective. Under this point is really important that you share the audit plan with the client and therefore the client is aware and approve the timing of the audit. Then you have also to make sure that the proper people are engaged in the audit. Therefore, they have to have the proper skills to perform the audit procedure that has to be done. To make sure that the audit is performed on a timely manner, therefore according to the deadline, and you don't run out of time with the consequence that you will lose so much time just to find other people to finish the work. And third, you have to manage the audit on a client perspective. The client itself is the most important stakeholder for the audit firm, because actually is the one that is paying the auditor, and therefore you have to find a good trade-off between the client expectation and the audit requirement. Second skill, knowledge. And when we talk about knowledge, we talk on a broad perspective. And we begin with the client knowledge, and therefore you have to know the client business and the main activity of the client. Then you have to make sure that you have a good knowledge of the accounting standard, because when you have to evaluate if the financial statement is correct and if it's correct, the entries and the accounting followed by the client, you have to know the accounting principle. Audit principle and audit activities knowledge is fundamental to help you and guide you to choose the best audit approach, beginning from the audit assessment of the risk of the engagement to the proper audit procedure to perform to mitigate the risk of material misstatement. Then we talk about knowledge also related to other fields that are not properly related to audit, and here we are referring to Excel knowledge, because if you are a master of Excel, it's gonna save a lot of time. Then we talk also about the soft skill as client management and team management. So make sure that your knowledge, let's say, is really broad to cover all the possible point and issue that you will face in an audit. Third skill, be professional. Here we are talking about be polite in every situation. Especially in accounting, you will have to deal with people that are stressed for many reasons. Could be because they don't really like what they do, or because they have tight deadline. And therefore it's really easy to have to deal with a person that could be angry with such few words that maybe are not correctly understood. Therefore, be aware and always try to be nice and explain the reason for which you are requesting something, some information, some documentation, so that the other people on the other side is able to understand the motivation of your request or your behavior. And on the internal, like in the audit firm internal perspective, is really good that you behave to anticipate every possible issue, constraint, because you have to be aware that you have to look in the future, so that if you are always alert to look at what could go wrong, you can anticipate and deal in the best way any possible issue, especially about planning. Make sure that you have clear what has to be done and the time that you have to do it. And if you feel that the time is not enough, just challenge the person that has made the task allocation to make sure that you have understood the activity to do and clarify any potential time constraint to make everyone happy with your work and your behavior. Fourth skill, focus. This skill is fundamental because with social media, email, call, you risk to spend most of your day doing activity that doesn't really help you to get things done. For example, I've noticing in the recent past that people are really engaged on social media also during work, and actually this will not help you at all because at the end spending so much time in social media doesn't really help your future. So it's better that you focus on the work that you are doing that probably will give you an edge over someone else in the future. Then regarding mail and phone call, just try to dedicate the proper amount of time, but on such time during the day, and therefore just try to don't take any call, reply any mail every time, otherwise you'll not be that focused on the work that you are doing. That probably is not that easy for you, and therefore you really need to be focused on the task. On the other side, probably you could feel a little bit in difficulty when you are working on a room with the other team member because you are not able to focus due to the noise that is in the environment. Therefore, try to find your best solution to be able to concentrate in the activity that you are doing. And I'm talking about find a more relaxing room or listen some music or anything else that can work for you, so that you can really use your time in the more efficient way. Fifth skill, work smart. We know that auditors work a lot, but sometimes they work a lot because they don't really focus on the important activity. Therefore, focus and do the activity that are really required for the audit and just delete from your to-do list all the activity that doesn't add any value. And to do so, you have to make clear the risk that you have in the audit to plan the adequate audit procedure, and then you have to clarify with the team the goal, the purpose of each activity to really make sure that you are doing the activity that are necessary. Sixth skill, ask. Here we are talking about a skill that is really helpful for your future. You have to ask when a task is assigned to you, to understand why you are doing the task, what is the goal and the expected outcome of your work, and you have to ask how to do something if you are not sure that you know the proper way and the fastest way to do the activity. And when you ask everything that is not clear, also your knowledge will improve, and then you will be able to perform the activity in the shorter amount of time possible and with the highest level of appreciation from the other member of the team. And therefore this skill is really valuable, especially for your future. Seventh skill, create connection. And we are talking about the soft skill of networking, and both on the client side or on the internal audit firm side, you have to create a good relation with the person that you are working with, because this will help you to get back to someone when you have to clarify some doubt or you have to ask some favor, or also in the future to create opportunity even when you leave audit. Eighth point, find a mentor. This is really important, especially when you are young with not much experience. It's crucial to find someone that you aspire to become as. And therefore you could like someone because he's really appreciated in the audit environment and by the client. You like his way to work, his mood, his ability to create a relation internally or with the client, and therefore it will help you to visualize what you should do in every situation, because if you can think about what your mentor will do in your situation, this will really help you to have that extra edge in the situation of difficulties. And therefore, when you find your mentor, don't hesitate to ask him how he's been able to become like that, and also ask him some tip on what you should do to become as him or better than him. Ninth point, positive attitude. Here we are talking about creating the perfect environment in which you can work more effectively. And we can say that if you feel kind of relaxed with just the right amount of kind of stress, is good for your output in your work. And you will see that a lot of people just ask you to do something in the optimal way possible, therefore outstanding level, cheapest cost, short amount of time. But most of the time this is not possible, and therefore you have to find a way to don't get stressed, and be able to return calm, so you will have the proper mindset and energy to focus on the activity that has to be done, to make sure that that they are performed in the fastest and best possible way. I will suggest to try to have an healthy lifestyle with healthy food, exercise, sleep, because at the end of the day, when you feel recharged, you will be able to outperform yourself that is following a bad lifestyle. Then we are talking about yourself. Therefore, make sure that you just don't get involved on the personally on the requests that are made by someone else, and you should find the right balance on what can really objectively be done, and what are the absurd requests from a third person, because sometimes someone will just ask you, but they don't really understand the time that is needed, and also the skills that are required. Therefore, considering that at the end of the day you are gonna sleep with yourself and no one else is gonna help you, it's better that you focus on the activity that will improve your skill and your future. 10th point, get a CPA. Actually, I'm not a big fan of wasting time studying. And for what is my experience, if you invest the same amount of time that is requested to get a CPA, and you will invest that time to learn skill audit related, especially for your future task and position, you will end up far ahead than someone else that just spent time for his CPA. Of course, this talk is good just till the CPA is not gonna be mandatory for your promotion. Whatever decision you take after this video, just remind yourself to focus, learn, and do it. Enjoy! Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. To view the full video of other audit topics, request the video by mail. PDF slides are also available. Otherwise, find the video online on the most common learning platform as Udemy, Skillshare, and many more soon. For our video on Audit Insight and all video preview, visit us in YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, and subscribe for to be updated on any new content. If you prefer private classes for learning, to have a teacher completely dedicated to teach you audit topics at your own speed and answer all your questions, book our private classes that can be held online or on-site. For detail and to book your private class, contact us by mail. Audit Advisory Service help you with any project related to audit, as accounting procedure, estimate, financial adjustment, and other audit-related activities. Outsourcing of audit activities service gives you the opportunity to have an expert taking care of your audit work, while you can dedicate your time to more important tasks. Whatever choice you make after the video, just remember to focus, learn, and do it.